Hello and welcome back to another episode of Pro Cycling Manager, where I tried to bring the lowest ranking Korean team to the Tour de France. That started off with last episode where we scored 13 points. And obviously the goal of this episode is to increase the amount of points and do better in the races. We've got a couple nice races lined up, a couple of day races, which I'm not too big of a fan of, and a multi-day stage race, which I think will be a lot of fun. Let's see how we'll do in these races. Let's start off with the Grand Prix of Antalya, a race in Turkey, or Turkey, as it's also called now. It is a more flat race. Again, it is a day stage race, so I'm trying to select more of the sprinters and trying to switch it up slightly with the people that we had before. Obviously, Kim Hyun-sok, Heo Sung-soo Heo, a couple of our top sprinters, right? The people with the best stats that we have. Let's see how we can do. There's a slight little hill, as you can see, about 80% through the course, 80 to 90% through the course. I'm hoping that will not bring us to too many issues. And yeah, let's see how we can do there. Here's the top 10. Obviously, not part of the top 10 there, as you can see, far out. Some people with very high sprinting stats, so let's see how we can do.
Welcome. Today's terrain is fairly level, so it's ideal ground for
Alright,
those who are
a nice and sunny day. Quite a flat race, a little bit of a hillside, as I said earlier, at around 80%. Trying to sprint here with Lee. I don't have a lot of faith that the breakaway in the beginning will actually make it, but I do want to try and see how far we come, at least up our visibility, right? Get some good visibility scores, which is good for sponsors later on, I hope. I'm not entirely sure how that works, honestly. I think it works that way. And yeah, just trying to get into this breakaway with Lee. We succeed as far as I can see. There's a sixth guy trying to approach us, which I think he'll make it. He actually did make it. And we got quite far throughout the route. I tried with Lee to get as far as possible, but in the end, the peloton catches up to us, and we don't actually get to the end of the stage. Again, it's not something that I expected, but if Lee could have made it, then I think it's if there's a chance he would have made it, I think it would be a good thing to try, right? Onto the mountainous area, trying to get my team as far to the front as possible. I know this is a bit of a tricky little hill area. And it's important to have that team forward, to not get any splits in the peloton or not be in the second part of the peloton when it does split and get into any issues there. That would be quite problematic. As you can see, the team is doing relatively well. We're burning through our energy, but we are quite to the front of the race. We get over the top of the mountain, and then we have a nice downhill part. We're with 34 riders left. A big group, around 20, as you can see, or 30 even, have dropped off behind, and they will never make it back to us. So that leaves us with a pretty good position out into the front. Last 10 kilometers to go. Without my intention, Kim decided to sprint away. The game decided that it was his time to go, and I am confused here on what to do. Do I let him go? Do I let him sprint? There's 7 kilometers out. I have Yo on the front, kind of riding hard, and I think in the end that might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have let him go, so I let Yon go a bit towards the front, right? Not make sure that we are pushing, but at least be at the front of the peloton. And now, just trying to keep it at 87 and see how far Kim can get. Last 4 kilometers, we are gaining on them. I don't have a lot of faith in this little group getting there, so I decide to, stay in the front, try and keep this position going. Hong and Heo here, obviously in these positions, trying to get into a good spot. Kim, again, on his own, decided to just sprint and go. Heo in a fantastic position on the wheel of Hong. I let him go at around 500 meters to go. We go, and everyone passes us. We try, but in the end, we are stuck with a 9th position for Heo. 17, 18, and 19 for the rest of our team. Lee finishing 52nd. So a top 10 for us here in this day stage race. A 9th position. And after checking, we did end up this 9th place in the end. It did give us an additional 3 points. So not bad, not great. China Glory there with 3 spots in the top 10. They must have racked in a bunch of points there. Congrats to them. I think in the end, a poor sprint and a poor stage for us because the computer decided to do its own thing. But, you know, it's fine. On to the Melbourne Warrnambool stage, another day stage where we have most of our team actually racing. 8 riders, a larger team representation here. I am looking at, you know, who do I pick here? Obviously, it is another flat stage with a little hilly area, from what I remember. And I decide to give Kim Hyun-suk and Hong a bit of rest. I am betting my marbles on Heo, because he, again, has good sprint stats, and his fitness is at 97%. So you see some hills that are in the middle, and a little peak there at the end. But overall, it is a relatively flat race, and with Heo, we should do quite well, I would say. The top 10 here, obviously not us. James here with fantastic stats. We're not even close again. One day we'll be in the top 10. One day we'll be in the top 10, but not today. So that is what it is. And yeah, let's try to see. I'm not a big fan of the breakaway, especially in these stages. I don't think that we'll have great successes there. And I think I'll bet on the large size of our team to get us to a good position towards the end. Alright, so towards the end here, we have our sprint train going. As you can see, Munshin did the first little push, then Jung, and now Shin's job is here to keep us pushing forward, keep us towards the front, and to get us towards the end. I'm popping here the energy gels with 5k left to go to try and get as much energy in these legs as possible, or you know, get them powered up towards the end. So even if they lose a little bit of energy, it will be fine. You here now running our team towards the end, and we're losing a bit of the connection with our riders, which is not great. Jung apparently decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to sprint by myself. 1 kilometer left here, sending our team to sprint, and I think I just went way too late, because everyone that sprinted earlier did a fantastic job there and did well. Lee and Jung, who sprinted basically by themselves, went way earlier, and where the computer said, hey, you know what, I'm just going to send these people out, got a 9th and a 10th place, a 11th place for Yo, and the marbles that I bet on Heo filled. So that's not great. That's really not great. The 9th and 10th place here for Lee Yumin and Jung actually give us another 3 points each, which brings our total up to 6, which with the sprint by Heo onto the 8th place last time gives us 9 new points in this episode, almost like getting the same amount as we did last time. Not terrible. Now on to the Grand Prix de la Ville d'Oran, which I think is an Algerian race. Also looking at the flag, I'm not an expert at flags at all. But onto the race. It's a flat race. It's another race for sprinters, so let's do our best and do a good sprint here at the end to get some good points with a good result.
Teams with sprinters won't be complaining, and of course, those opportunists with a bit of daring won't make their life easy.
Again, we got Hong up front here. There's people jumping away. I decide to go with them. Maybe, again, you never know. Maybe there is a crazy moment happening where the breakaway does get away. And again, for visibility, it might be good. But it definitely won't help us towards the stage win, I think. The chance that the breakaway stays until the end is so minimal that I never bet my eggs on it. Therefore, I think that just sending him along for the visibility is a reasonable thing to do, but I won't do too much effort. And as you can see here, with 19k to go, the groups kind of get folded in. Kim, for some reason, decided to sprint forward there, which was not what I wanted to do at all. Wasting a bit of his energy, which is not great. Hong still with 16 seconds on the peloton, but there's obviously this is obviously going to end. And with about 15 kilometers to go, that group gets grabbed, and we are back into one big group again. Now, the weird thing about this race is that the end is sort of around a corner, which means that if we do a final sprint for this race, which it will definitely be. We need to be in a good position just before the corner. And as you can see here, 8 kilometers to go. I'm pushing my team forward. We are at the front. We are doing a pretty good job here. The red and white shirt, the guys over there doing a fantastic job as well, being quite at the front. These riders just decided to sprint forward real hard. 6 kilometers to go. Joan trying to keep pushing forward as much as possible. Hong, with his exerted effort of being in the breakaway before, must be exhausted by now. The energy though kicking in for John, which is great actually for him, because he really needed that energy to keep going with the pushing that he's doing. And now 3 kilometers to go. I'm trying to manage his energy. We are at the front. I don't need to like sprint forward with him. We're doing quite well there. 2.7 kilometers. You see the corner coming up. And our positioning is actually not terrible. We're quite up front here. Heo and Kim is what I'm aiming for, especially Kim, because he has the better race stats. I sprint a bit early with Heo. Kim not in the best positioning here, but Heo, he's actually doing incredibly well here. And we might get a first to 3rd place and an 8th place for Kim Hyun-suk. Wow, a 3rd place for Heo is a fantastic result here for us. I think we did amazing there. And yeah, something I can be very happy with. That is great. A 3rd place here in this 1.2 stage race, this day stage race. Our best results definitely so far. Very, very happy with this. 4 riders in the top 20. Kim Hyun-suk in 8th place. Heo Sung-soo Heo, fantastic job there in 3rd. Really, really good. I think something that we can definitely be proud of. Our first podium result in the races that we've done, our first podium result as a team, so very happy with that. On to the Tour of Sharjah, which is a multiple stage race. It is a 5 stages race from what I'm seeing. It is quite a long stage race where we try to participate as well as possible. I am not good at time trials, which is what this first race is of this tour, so apologies for that. I decided also, because it is a bit of a weird format of a race, I decided to speed it up a bit so you can see it ×2 and you can watch it in super speed, how I mess up and try to figure out how this even works. Again, no idea what I was doing. You see the riders just kind of race past. I see a 4th place there for Lee, and I think, oh, this is actually not bad. This is a good result, until I realize that he is the worst, or the second to last rider of the bunch here. So not a great result there. And also with you, I just mess up immediately. So I'm trying to figure out, what do I do here? How do I control this? And then I realize, hey, hold on. There's this button here. I can look at the effort. And I remember, at least, that in time trials, what you need to avoid is for the red bar to run out before you cross the finish. Because the moment the red bar basically fills, or the moment the red bar ends, and you lose that red bar, your rider is going to sit up and lose basically all momentum that he's having. So try to push forward as much as you can. And then just before the stage finish, just before the finish, basically finish your red bar there as well, right? So you can see with Hong, I'm trying to control it, trying to do my best, but also here I just very much mess up kind of his approach, which results in a terrible position for him as well. Not what I want, but you know, I tried. I want to do better with Heo because he needs that better result also for the general classification. However, I make a mistake here and kind of just use up his red bar quite quickly, and it stops before I even get to the end, making sure that his result is also terrible, which is not great. Kim Hyun-suk, I vow to do a little bit better with, because he is the oldest rider, he is the most experienced. I should be controlling him the best, and also there I destroy his red bar before he finishes the race. But he is our best classified rider, and as you can see, the numbers just dropping, and the results are embarrassing here. In the end, getting a 60th place, or around a 62nd place, which is obviously horrible. Not the best choice. Let's ignore this and quickly go on to the next race, which is the second tour of Sharjah. As you can see, two in between sprint race or sprint race checkpoints. A little bit of a windy section over there, so that will be something to be careful of. We need to sit there more in the front so we don't get bullied away by the wind. And obviously I want to take a look and try and see, again, the same as all the other episodes, try and see if I can get some points there in those stages or in those in between races.
Fast pace from the peloton. The race will take place in beautiful weather conditions.
The commentator very enthusiastic about his weather conditions. Hong up front here. I decide, you know what, seeing that he's up front, it takes too much effort to battle a rider all the way through the pack to get to the front. Let's try with Hong to go as far as we can and just push forward and see if we can make it to that first spot. He has decent sprint stats. He has 63s everywhere. So I'm hoping that will actually be a decent success. And together with Hong, we try and, you know, move forward. The motorcycle there blocking him from joining the group. Love it when it does that. Really, really good. Not for Hong, but for the rest of those riders probably. Way before, as you can see, way before we even get to that first checkpoint, the first group already got back, and we are basically fiending for position again. Heo is quite up front, and I see a rider jump away, so I think, hey, you know what? Heo is absolutely no threat in the general classification. I'm going to jump away and see if I can actually get these sprint points. He has great sprint stats. Let's try and see if I can actually do something with him. So I jump away, and actually, as you can see down there, we actually get quite a good gap towards the peloton, which is surprising. So we just have to survive the windy section that's up ahead and get towards the first sprint checkpoint. And as you can see, 1 kilometer up front, I try and sprint. Al-Mamari, not even close. Heo, the better sprinter. There we go. Get those bonus seconds, get those sprint points. Great job by him. Hopefully bringing us slightly better in a slightly better position for the general classification. Even though we are so far behind, I don't know if it matters at all. I think it's important to keep doing our best with this, though. On to the second sprint point. We're going to try and get some points again to get our riders back. And you see Kim here coming across the line in second place. Getting 2 additional bonus seconds and 2 more points for the sprint classification. Again, we're trying to do this for the bonus points and for the bonus seconds to try and move our position up in the general classification. Towards the end here, 7 kilometers to go, starting up that fantastic sprint train. Energy gels are being popped slowly to try and get us to the front. Yon is, you know, leading our way here with 5 kilometers to go, trying to get us in the front, kind of keep us in the front. The teams on the left hand doing a fantastic job there, sprinting really well. Hong taking over from Yon, legs kind of keeping still even though I keep the speed up. Telling him to sprint early, trying to keep us to the front. With 2 kilometers to go, I make a mistake. As you can see, Heo starting way too early, 1.1 kilometers to go. Kim finally going, but half of his energy was already gone, and there he goes, way behind. Everyone passes him, sadly, and we get not even a top 10 position, we get a 12th position for Hyun-Suk Kim and Jiwon Hong at 20th. Heo just totally disappeared there in the end. So 12th position here for Hyun-Suk. Another race that we can kind of forget. Scrolling down here in the GC, we gained 3 positions, and we're at 59th now. It's not a great score for us so far. So yeah, we're getting some positions back, but it's not great. And as you can see, also team-wise, we are so far behind. On to the third stage of the Tour of Sharjah, where we try and redeem ourselves even more. Hoping to seeing that Kim is our #1 rider, why not try and keep him as a good position for the GC, trying to get him up as far as possible. And with you, we will try and steal away the mountain jersey, as this is quite a mountainous stage, as you can see. 3 points here, 3 mountain state or mountain areas here where we could get some points. So let's see if we can steal away that mountain jersey and get some additional bonus seconds on those in-between sprint points. Not part of the top 10. Still not surprised. One day we'll get there. One day. But not today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The route is fairly hilly, so there should be plenty of action. The race will take place under a bright sun.
Plenty of action, guaranteed indeed. A stage with 3 mountainous points, as I said. Trying to get you up to the front, trying to get him. He's a bit blocked behind. I'm going to try and see if I can get him past these people. Yes, it succeeds. Great. Okay, and then try to attack with him so I can sprint away. We are no danger in the GC. I think he was on like the 80th spot or something, so we should be able to just easily get away. We do, thankfully, and now we're in a group of 2. We'll catch up with the third one for sure. And in that sense, we'll have a nice little group of 3 to try and reach that first mountain stage point, and yeah, get some maybe even additional bonus seconds along the way. Use sprinting power is not great, but we can always try and see. Let's do our best for that. And while I'm busy with the people in the peloton, we've already passed the first sprinting stage. A little bit of an accident there. I didn't pay any attention to you there, so I mean, I didn't expect to get any points there anyway, or any bonus seconds anyway, but we got the 3rd place there, so an additional bonus second, which is fine, but not the first one as we really wanted to. Our focus now is on the mountainous area. And we're in the last kilometer of the mountainous area. You see the rider here, I think it's Katopis, cycle away, and I try to sprint after him, but he's just so much stronger than us, and I get into a 2nd spot here on the mountain area. A okay result. I think it's good points here for the stage, and we have 2 more mountain points here to go, or 2 more mountain areas here to go, so I think that would be a great thing to get for us. Now onto the 2nd sprint point here, in between sprint. Let's see if we can get the points here. Sprinting with Yon, Kim behind, doing a sprint from the last kilometer here. Yon, I'm trying to get his 2nd place here with Yon, just to steal as many seconds and points away as possible. Sadly, I feel I get the 3rd one, but still, that's a total of 4 additional bonus seconds across the team. I am happy with that. I think it's a good result either way. Onto the mountains. The mountains where we try and get these points with you, but Jesus, is this a very difficult stage to get through. You see through the tunnel the top of this little mountain peak where we're trying to get to. You is very much trying his best to get there. Full power for him, everyone's on the max, but he doesn't even get close to getting first there. And yeah, we're now 4th in the best climbers classification. Try to get the points here filled. We'll do better on this last little hill for sure, as I say, with no energy for you left. Ooh, 400 meters to go. Maybe we can get a top 3, but no. I went too early there, lost all the energy slightly too early, and we get a 5th spot there across the mountain. Still in 4th, Yip Steeman, number 1 with 14 points, so we'll need to do better in the next stage if we want to get there, and try to get some more points here. Now onto the sprint, 1 kilometer to go. I have no energy left with any of my people. I failed to see that there's a mountain, like a little downside here, and then up again, and that's already the finish. So I fail there as well. Not a great result there. And again, more oopsies and more whoopsies here in this stage race. We gain 6 places with Kim Hyun-suk for some reason. I'm guessing that that's the bonus points that we got. So good for us there. We're 4th in the mountain for the mountain jersey. We gain a bunch of seconds and places, but we're still so far in the back, so far behind in the general classification, that I have no hopes of getting a top 10 or top 20 there. It's fine. It's all to my initial failure in the first stage, and we'll try to make up here in this 4th and last final stage that are coming up. Onto the 4th one. As you can see, a 3 in between sprints and 2 mountain points there. So we'll try to get you for those mountain areas and get Kim Hyun-suk or Heo for those in between sprints.
We've got absolutely beautiful weather for this race.
Kim Hyun-suk is our rider that's most in front. The in-between sprint is at a 23-kilometer mark.
Breakaway at the front.
I would like you to be sent forward again, maybe get that first little mountain area again.
There's a rider trying
We
to
are
break away
no
from
threat towards the general classification, so this should be totally okay to do. And there we go. There's 3 riders in front of us. Oh, I'm with a tiny group of 2 there. I fumble a bit with my buttons, but I managed to sort it out and not get away. Because the peloton decided to not let us get away, which is a bit sad. And now the top, as you can see, they actually caught up to a lot of us. And I tried to do a little bit of a, not necessarily a sprint forward, but try at least to get that additional last bonus second with Kim Hyun-suk. Lee, a nice little lead out, Kim Hyun-suk there, to get 3rd over the line and get that additional bonus second and additional bonus point. It's not a lot, but you know, every second matters for a slightly better classification here in the GC. On to the mountain area, where we are a little bit behind the riders that are up front, but we are catching incredibly quickly. So I send you out with 200 meters to go to try and get some points here. We overtake the little group with 2 riders. We get over the line here as a 2nd place, and I honestly think that this is a great result and a great job there by you to just outmaneuver the 2 riders that were in front there and just absolutely fly past them, get those 6 mountain points there, and get up to 2nd in the mountain rider classification. I do go on a bit too long, I think, here with the power, but it's fine. On to the 2nd in-between sprint. As you can see, there's 1 rider in front, but that means that there's still 2 seconds and 2 sprint points to get. I send Kim forward. He is our best rider in the general classification to get those additional 2 seconds, and yeah, we get it. Happy with that, and maybe we can move up a couple more places. On to the mountain. We still have that 1 rider up front, but we try, and even if we can get 2 or 2nd place here in this mountain area, I think that would be a great result. The rider up front here is way too far out to catch. Yu does not have any energy left, so I just send him up front, and we get it, giving us 1st place there, up to 17 points. And now we just need to basically pray that we, one of the top 10 people or people that go for the mountain classification, get no points here, get a good result here in this final stage, because they get more bonus points there. Hong leading out Kim here, making sure that we have an option to get these little bonus seconds again. Boom! 3 bonus points, 3 bonus seconds. Hong coming over the line there as the 2nd place. 2 more bonus seconds for the team. Again, it's not going to matter a lot, but every position counts. So I sit back up again and relax, because, you know, we have 13 kilometers to go, and this last his last mountain is very, very steep, and it's all like we need to be very careful here. It's just one big slugfest of a race. 2.5 kilometers to go. I'm trying to get you up front as far as possible. He is our best climber in this scenario currently, so I tried to send him forward, try to get him into a better position here and there. And yeah, 1.5 kilometers to go. If I can get a top 10 with him today, that would be an amazing result looking at our entire stage race. But man, here we go, 82% or 82 effort, and even there, it's difficult and rough. We're not passing anyone. People are passing us instead. The only person in the top 10, as you can see there, is Al Mutaiwe. He will not get a top 10 result, and therefore not any bonus points on that mountain stage, but neither will we, and therefore that is totally okay with me. I tried to give it everything. I tried to get as far forward as possible, but we are very far behind. Kim Hyun-suk even doing a very decent job for being a sprinter and a flat race rider. We finished slightly behind one of the top 10 contenders for the mountain points. We don't even get anywhere near the top 10, but in the end, that is pretty okay. Kim Hyun-suk moving up 4 places, and we are currently #1 in the mountain jersey. I am satisfied with that, and I am happy with that. Getting a good position in the general classification is no longer an option here, but trying to defend our mountain jersey is kind of what I want to go for. On to the last stage of Tour of Sharjah, where it's 1 option to get mountain points, and another flat race with a bit of a windy section there in the middle of the race. So we need to be careful to stay in front, and we can try and get more bonus seconds and maybe try for a good result here in this race, as it is a sprint race. But most important, we want to defend our mountain jersey, and we want to make sure that no one steals it from us, maybe at the last second, or maybe with for the second place person, right? So we want to defend that jersey with everything that we got. You here in this lovely red jersey, I tried to send him away, seeing, you know, the first point here is the points for the mountain jersey, and if we can get there as the first group, I feel quite confident that we can get those last points and keep our mountain jersey defended. So that's what we go for. Al Mamari joining us here. I think he was one of the top 10 here, and there we go. We get our bonus points here for the mountain jersey, getting our first place there, securing it. There's no other way now for the rest of the teams to catch up or overtake us. So with that one, even though we wanted a good position and more points in this tour, getting the mountain jersey is a good result either way, and I'm quite happy with that. On to the sprinting point. As you can see, Yu is still in the top group, in the forward group, and we sprint away so he can get those number 1 points. Behind him is Kim Hyun-suk. The peloton is quite close behind him, but we get 3 bonus seconds with Yu and another bonus seconds with Kim Hyun-suk, therefore getting 4 more bonus seconds, which is not bad. I try to sprint here to get any good results, but we get very much stuck behind, and we come across the line there as in 4th place, so that's kind of a failure. On to the last 3 kilometers here in this race. We try and set up our sprint train. We try and get a good final result here with Kim Hyun-suk leading the 4, Kim Heo or Heo Sung-soo, and we sprint. We try our best. Heo actually does incredibly well here in this final sprint. Doesn't get a podium place, but a top 10, 6th place for him. A much better result than any of the other races that we did. And I feel quite happy that we actually did get a good result there in the end. You know, mountain jersey and a top 10 in one of the stages, I think could count as a relative success to where I was afraid that we would end up here in the beginning, with failing our horrible first stage, getting a massive deficit, maybe not doing well in any of the other stages as they were more mountainous, but getting a top 10 here in this last stage is fantastic. We secure our mountain jersey, and yeah, Heo Sung-soo with that 6th place actually gets 15 sprint points there in the end, which is insane. Then on to our points total. We now have a total of 50 points. As we look, we have 2 new additions to the point list. It's Lee Yumin and Jung Sung-hoon with 3 points each in Melbourne, Warrnambool, that beautiful Australian one-day race where we got a 9th and a 10th place, or an 8th and a 9th place, I think, for them. A fantastic result with 6 additional points. Kim Hyun-suk getting 3 points in the day stage race of Grand Prix de la Ville d'Oran. So 3 points, additional points for him, getting a 13 points total, which is the same amount as we had in the first episode. So with included already getting a 6-point lead. And then looking at our top point winner with Heo Sung-soo, getting 31 points total now, a fantastic result in the Grand Prix de la Ville d'Oran. 25 points there for him, just an absolutely amazing result, boosting us up to that 50-point total, and another 3 points for his position in the Grand Prix Antalya. This is the end of the longer episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and maybe subscribe to the channel. I saw that the first episode did pretty good numbers, and I'm so very happy with that. Thank you for that so much. It fills my heart with a lot of love and happiness that you watched it and enjoyed that first episode, even though it was qualitatively probably a bit less than this. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time for the 3rd episode, where we try to get even more points. Let's do our best, shall we? Yeah!